Hey guys, Shootersmallz here. Thanks for tuning in to another video. Sorry I couldn't get this video out a week ago when the information actually came out, but my computer's been down and I just got it fixed not too long ago. So we are going to talk about the Battlefield 1 beta and some of the changes that DICE has listened to our feedback and some of the changes that they're going to do before the full version of Battlefield 1 comes out in late October. It was a tweet, I think it was like a week ago, from Daniel Berlin, and he is a lead world designer on Battlefield 1. I retweeted it if you guys didn't know. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, the link is up in the banner there, at Shootersmallz. But anyways, this guy tweeted out, basically, he just said a big thank you in his first nice long paragraph. He said a big thank you for everyone for playing the beta, providing feedback, and providing the bugs and some of the things they didn't like and whatnot. So he went on to actually break down a few things they are going to change for the full version. Now also, I did talk about a couple of these in my breakdown of Battlefield 1, the good, bad, and ugly video. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it down in the description below. Go ahead and click on that and check it out. Let's jump into it here. He goes on to say, when we build a new Battlefield game, it's important for us to try new things. We want to stay fresh and renew the franchise with each new installment. However, it's equally as important that we take the feedback from you, the community, are giving us. That is why we are going to make some changes to Conquest Game Mode ticket system for launch. Next time you will play the game, capturing an objectives and getting kills will both contribute towards the final score of the conquest match. If you guys didn't know, the main part in that is your kills will now be going towards the final score of the conquest match. Now in the Battlefield 1 beta, kills meant absolutely nothing. It was all about capturing flags. In essence, you could basically not kill anyone, avoid confrontation whatsoever, and just drive from one flag to another, capture them, and you could potentially be the best person on the board and not get any kills and just basically get all capture points. So obviously that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. If you have a war game, kills should probably be in the scoring system, right? So that's really awesome to hear. Kills are now going to be part of the final score in the conquest match. He also goes on to talk about Rush game mode and how they're going to start looking into Rush and kind of tweak some things in the Rush. Now I didn't talk about this in my video, but I played it a couple of games of Rush and it just seemed a little heavy on the tanks and whatnot. A lot of camping in the back, people sniping, so it was just kind of clunky or kind of just bleh. He doesn't go into any real specifics around what they're going to do for the Rush game mode for Battlefield 1, but they are going to look into some tweaks. Also, he talked about some balancing elements. He talked about the light tank. The light tank was like a beast, man. If you got into that, you could just dominate everyone. Especially if you avoided sea and were just out in the desert, you could just dominate everyone and you wouldn't die the whole game. So they're gonna nerf that. Another thing he talked about was horses. He says verbatim, horses can take a few too many rounds at the moment. So I harped on this a lot in my good, bad, and ugly video, that the horses I think were way overpowered. So obviously they see that. They have received our feedback and they're definitely going to change it. So that is an awesome thing. To me, horses, you know, you shouldn't be dominating people with horses, right? There's tanks and stuff. Horses should be like a transport vehicle, you know, getting you from point A to point B, not necessarily like a freaking tank, you know. So one more thing he talks about is, I'll just read it to you. We've also learned through the beta that you guys need more tools to deal with vehicles earlier, which we'll definitely look into, including gadget for the support class, which could help neutralize powerful vehicles. Now the support class had like no good gadgets for basically anything, so I mean, it had a cool gun, but I think it was the Lewis gun, but it had no cool gadgets or anything useful, so no one really ever used the support class because it was just it wasn't any good. So obviously he's talking about increasing that support class, giving it some different gadgets and whatnot. He also talks about more tools to deal with vehicles earlier. Now there are tools that you probably just unlock later in the game, so he says earlier, so they'll probably just have those unlocked sooner. That way lower level people can actually take out tanks and whatnot. So that was the breakdown of the guy's tweet. I think it's all very positive information. and DICE is listening to our feedback, and they are actually implementing some of the changes. Now with Battlefield, I'm expecting more changes in the future, especially after launch. When more of these balancing issues come up, DICE will go ahead and fix those, as they come up. So, I mean, Battlefield is such a complex, large, all-out warfare that they have so many gadgets and weapons and tanks and stuff. There's always going to be a little bit of balancing issues there. So, I'm really happy to hear DICE is working on it. So, I'll go ahead and end the video here. If you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.